Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and we got to catch up on last week's Real Housewives of Potomac. Child, I don't know what they got going on in Potomac. It's a mess over here, but let's just get into it. Before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And of course, I have to give a shout out to my super thanks. Thank you so much to everybody who supports the channel. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Tanya Fuller, Yvette Greer, Mila MW, Shy Go 2, Jolie B, Trailblazer, Fifi ASP, Miss Winnie Mangum, and A. Freeman. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Now let's go ahead and get into this review. So the episode opens up right where we left off last week, which is in the middle of Mia cursing Gizelle out. But if you think I'm around here telling the internet I'm sick for attention, then all that. She's telling her that the reason that she decided to do it is because she wants to share that they're not perfect people. Gizelle said, well, I don't think nobody's perfect or anybody is trying to pretend that they're perfect, but we just don't understand what's going on. The guys are off to the side playing Guess That Vegetable with the appetizers. Wendy, Escala, and Candiace off in the corner, and Wendy noticed they over there getting it started. Girl, we got to get over to the team meeting. Please come on, y'all. Now, at this point, Mia's girlfriend, Jacqueline, who came to the party with her, jumped in. Mia let them know that that's her friend that was there for her as she was going through all this, and Jacqueline is giving them a piece of her mind. Jacqueline let them know that sometimes when you are emotional and you are going through things, everything is not always clear. Well, Miss Jackie, in defense of the general public and in defense of the court of public opinion, if you are unclear, you should probably not divulge it to the general public until you are. Like, get clear before you try to be transparent. Robin said, well, in all fairness, I was concerned for you as a friend, but the way that you worded the post, it was so open-ended that it came across like a plea for attention. Wendy steps into the meeting trying to figure out, who is this new girl? Who's she cursing out and why? Karen said, well, they're questioning the way that Mia decided to share her health issue. Mia says to Wendy, yeah, Gizelle thought I did this for attention. Wendy is just trying to figure out, is this going to be a 2-for-1 drag? Is this Robin and Gizelle getting dragged or just Gizelle by herself? Karen starts to go in on Gizelle about, who are you to question her? Robin said, we ain't doing that this year. Robin said, not this damn season. She ain't going under not nary another damn bus. She said, if it's a bus rolling around here, I'll be driving the motherfucker. Robin said, y'all won't act like me and Gizelle are the only ones who had questions and thought this post was odd. Robin started calling roll like a third grade teacher. Ashley, Karen, Candiace. Yeah. Everybody had some questions. And we saw that each one of them sure was on tape saying that, yeah, I think she was looking for attention my damn self. Candiace is looking like, well, damn. Robin. Mia must have got thrown for a loop because her damn eyes start spinning around in her head. Next thing you know, her home health aide homegirl is speaking up for her. Wendy, excuse me, y'all. I don't mean to be rude, but Harpo, who this woman? So after Wendy gets introduced to Jacqueline, Robin starts explaining to Jacqueline, since you, Mia's representative, let me tell you what our issue was. The issue was that we were looking for a conclusion where she left a cliffhanger. She just left this open-ended announcement and we don't know what's going on. Her friend said that's because it is a cliffhanger. She don't know what's going on. Didn't last week she say they told her that her results were this? I don't know. Well, as they're all going back and forth, Charisse shows up to the party. Well, Karen didn't invite Charisse, but she will play along. Charisse comes up and hugs Karen, and she's telling Karen how she misses her and they should go to lunch. And Gizelle is acting like she is absolutely shocked that they're speaking. Karen said they haven't been friends, but they can be cordial. And Robin said, well, she is the one who invited Charisse, and she didn't think there would be any issue because why would Charisse and Karen still have issues over rumors that Charisse brought to the reunion years ago? Well, if them same rumors would affect her same marriage, That would explain it. So Karen said, I ain't got time for this. Let me go check on Mia. And she goes to ask Mia if she's okay after experiencing Gizelle. Mia says she's fine. She can't control other people's personalities. And she has come to terms with the fact that she is the chosen one. Whatever it is that he needs for her to do, she is going to do. So she is serving her purpose. She does not have time for Gizelle. We go from the chosen one to the ghost of Potomac past popping up. Here comes Katie from 3 years ago. Katie disappeared like a thief in the night in the middle of their girls' trip, only to show up here 3 years later with a bald head and big green contacts in her eye. Katie always kind of gave me a touch of crazy. It's just something about Katie. And love must just be in the air because we move on and we see Ashley and Candiace are just chatting it up. And Candiace is telling Ashley all her business about she's freezing her eggs. And here comes Wendy. But I just love this. I love to see this. I hate when people do that. It annoys the shit out of me when people do that. When you see two people who don't normally get along and they seem to be making progress, don't remind them that they don't get along. Just let it happen. Candiace says she always thought Ashley was a fun girl and that she always had good vibes. And I think she is more open to a friendship with Ashley since Ashley is supposedly getting divorced from Michael. Gizelle's mind must be idle a lot because it's just a devil's workshop. She just out of nowhere decides, you know what? Remember that time we played that game and we asked all the men if they could have any other wife, who they would have, and Ray said he would have Katie. Ooh, Katie, come here, Katie. Why she grabbed crazy ass Katie and got crazy Katie over here by Ray? I got your crush. Karen gonna whoop your entire ass. Well, when Katie heard that Ray had a crush on her, she must have heard a new sponsor alert. Well, that alarm sounded off across the room. Karen peep game from across the room, but not before Katie got her a handful of Ray's ass. I said, Katie must be going through it and she willing to take her chances grabbing her a handful of that black Bill Gates ass. I don't give a damn. Now, when Karen dragged Katie back to whatever hellhole she just popped out of, I don't want to hear a mumbling word. Next thing you know, Katie done got excited. She done gone from the bottom to the top. Now she rubbing Ray all over his head. You done gone too far now. Now, here comes Karen. You got the right plan, but the wrong man. This sponsor is spoken for, and Karen is the big dog around there. Now, Karen got a check around them. Yeah. Ray said you wouldn't mess up my household. Ray started telling immediately, you won't get me put out my damn house. This lady's still buying new titties and stuff. I ain't got time. Yeah, she been rubbing my head. She didn't just rub my head. She grabbed my butt too. Yeah, get her. Katie said she just wanted to get his juices going. And Karen is in the confessional talking about how Ray over there just skinning and grinning and kiki like it's so damn funny. She about want to knock his head off his shoulders. You think it's cute? Child, Ray don't want no smoke. And before this party goes left, Karen decides, let me go ahead and give my speech. Now, why Karen is giving a speech, nobody seems to know. She gives this speech about how we don't have time to waste listening to naysayers, no matter who they may be. And the Grand Dame is back. Girl, what? Where the Grand Dame been? Don't nobody know what Karen talking about. So they just drink and dance the day away. Ain't nobody got time. They wrap up this party with Katie still over there shooting her shot and looking shot out. That girl like she out her natural mind. And Karen don't give a damn. You won't play crazy around here. I don't care how crazy she look. Give me my man. Come get your over here. Ain't no sponsorships around here. Ray, you and your social security. Come on, yeah. And to make sure ain't no sponsorships available, we see Karen going to her post-op checkup where they are checking on her latest installment of boobies. She started out with really big implants and now she's down to natural boobs, which she's much happier with. And she says she does not recommend augmentations to women in their 20s. And I agree. I think a lot of young women are not taught and don't understand that in your 20s, your body is still evolving and changing and becoming. And so before you decide that it needs some work, give it a chance to blossom, just see what it's going to be. You might impress your damn self. We move on to Candiace's house where she is at home pretending that she can peel potatoes. We meet her sister Crystal, who is staying with her and Chris while her home is being built. And Candiace is telling her that among all the other things she has going on, she is ready to try to be somebody's mama. She and Chris are planning to have a baby, but she is very, very scared of the unknown of parenthood, motherhood, because as Candiace said, becoming a mother is one of the most permanent things you can do. And listen, I agree. It is a major blessing, but it is a major sacrifice. And so I think it's actually a really good thing that she is going into motherhood with that level of awareness. She tells her sister that they have been seeing an IVF specialist, but they do want to try the natural way eventually. They got to get their schedules to align before they can get their biology to align. So yeah, they're having the issue of Chris working this new job that has him away from home all the time. And by the time he is home, Candiace is tired and don't want to be bothered. And so they are planning to plan a baby, but they can't seem to plan the baby making. So her sister asked her, well, how have you adjusted to Chris working outside of the house and being gone all the time now? And Candiace said the long and short of it is she has not adjusted to it. They just argue about it. So we move on to Ashley's house, where she's being visited by a new girlfriend named Deborah that she met in a mommy group. They're having a play date with their kids. And while they're hanging out, her girlfriend decides to get in her business. Well, girl, with Michael. She's asking her what's going on with her and Michael, and Ashley said, well, he still stays here, but I guess Michael must treat production like the housing authority. I don't know what in the Section 8 hell is going on here, but he must go away when the camera crew comes, because how is he still staying there? Y'all going through a separation, but he ain't never around. Man, child, I ain't got time. She said they sleep in separate rooms, but it doesn't feel any different because they talk about the kids all the time. So hell, they've been living separate lives anyway. Michael been doing any damn thing he wanted to do. So her girlfriend is asking her about her plans for getting a new house. And she's saying, yeah, she wants a house with a yard. Michael wants to keep this apartment because he doesn't want the maintenance that comes with the home. So they toast to Ashley being back in these streets and Michael being left in his apartment. Ashley says she has not found herself being really sad about it. And her girlfriend is hinting that that's probably because it's been a long time coming. And they discuss that there probably won't be a lot of downtime for Michael, that he's probably gonna get out there real quick because maybe he ain't never not been out there. Ashley, at least, has committed herself to the marriage until they are officially and legally divorced. Now, until that happens, she has been keeping herself entertained by doing TikToks. TikToks make her feel quite accomplished and have inspired her to host a dance class that she will be inviting all the ladies to. So we move on and we see Gizelle and Robin getting together at a coffee shop. Robin brings Gizelle some hoodies and hats for her daughters from her line and says, yeah, these are for your girls, but I got a bone to pick with you. Why would you be out here telling my business? So Gizelle started out trying to play dumb when Robin brought it up about what bone do you have to pick with me? Robin said, think about it. What business of mine did you tell? So Gizelle starts explaining that she didn't realize until she saw Karen and Ashley's reactions that she had messed up. She said she just assumed that Robin had already shared this information with them, so she didn't think she was dropping any news. Robin said, why would they know that? Why would they know about whether Juan is on my house or not? Why would you assume that? Why would you assume some shit like that and make out of you, me, and him? And that's the truth. Let people tell their own business. Why would you assume that this person knew that person's business? If you didn't hear that person tell this person, you shouldn't have assumed that or took it upon yourself to share that. And that's what Gizelle said. Well, that wasn't my business to tell. You right. Robin said exactly. Because how would she know that? And how would you feel if I start telling your business? Gizelle said, oh no, please don't do that. And so now, since the cat is out of the bag, Robin is in the confessional explaining why Juan is not on the house. So she explains that Juan is not on their mortgage because their interest rate would have been higher, because his credit has not fully recovered from their foreclosure, so they left him off of the financing. Now, that leads me to a few things. Number one, that does explain the financing, but not the deed. Is he on the deed? Number two, y'all brought up to me a very, very good point in the comments last week that I completely forgot about. Robin don't want to give Juan no money, and everything is in Robin's name for Robin's benefit. But the reason Juan ain't got no money is Robin. Robin messed up the money the first go around. And now Robin don't want to include the man in nothing, put his name on nothing. Now, I done messed up all his money, messed up his credit, lost everything we had. And now when I regain it all, it's mine alone. Now, that's not fair. Now, I'm all for, like, if I as a woman have my own assets and my own things I've built and my own sources of income, baby, those is mine, all right? What I brought to the table, I'll let you eat off my plate. But if we decide that we is not going to share this table no more, I'm taking my damn plate with me. I'm not leaving my plate behind. So that I get, I'm all for women suggesting prenups. Protect your own interests. I'm for that. But in this case, Robin, you have messed up that man money. And I think I recall Robin saying in previous seasons that she felt indebted to Juan because she is the cause of their financial downfall. So, yeah, you might owe that man some stuff. So you can tell Robin is genuinely offended. She is like, why would you even have brought that up? And Gizelle is like, well, I brought it up because she was talking about buying a house with that man. And, well, girl, tell your business. Don't tell mine. Robin said, but how do you even know that that was true? She said, just like we're all questioning Mia and Mia talking about whatever her health situation is, why wouldn't you question what she was saying? Why would you just volunteer my business? Because she was eager to tell your business. Gizelle will tell anybody's business but her own. Just like she let Robin's business just fall all out her mouth, all over TV, and she was fully aware that nobody knew that. But as soon as Robin makes mention of the possibility of the idea of the threat to tell Gizelle's bit, please don't tell my bit, please. Robin said, and why are we holding you accountable? And since we talking about Mia, your delivery could have been a lot better with Mia. You really could have handled that differently. Robin said, y'all won't be taking her down with Gizelle this season. Gizelle said, yeah, you right. She realized ain't nobody gonna hold her hand when the magic school bus run over her. So she said, yeah, you think I should go ahead and text Mia and tell her I'm sorry and I could have done that better. Robin said, yeah, you should probably do that. Gizelle sends Mia this text to try to mend fences between them. And Robin said, now that she done picked her bone with Gizelle for telling all my business, we can get back to what we do, talking other people's business. Robin tells Gizelle that she hung out with Ashley, and Ashley might really be getting a divorce and looking for a house because she had me out in the street looking for wallpaper and all kind of other dumb shit. And while we out there, why she tell me she got a DM from Candiace's husband, Chris, at 2:42 in the morning? So we see the clip of Robin and Ashley out shopping, and Ashley telling Robin that, yeah, this man DM me at 2:42 in the morning. We should have came to the W. Now, who is he at the W with at that time of night? Surely not his wife. Robin said, hold on. Before you get excited, homegirl, he is the general manager of the rooftop down there. You do know that, right? Ashley said, oh, he is? Yeah. Ashley says she still thinks a suspect because she knows that Candiace wasn't there. Robin says she wouldn't think anything of it because they're all mutual friends and this man ain't never come at you like that before, so why would you think that? Now, quite honestly, I can see both positions. Now, when you look at the breakdown of the message, it was him replying to her story, so it was not him just unprompted, I'm gonna go send Ashley a message. She had posted a story that I guess was from that spring fling party that they had all been at, and he replied to her story to say, y'all should have came to the W, which might have been more of a suggestion that we had a party and less of an invitation to come party. But at 2:42 in the morning, timing is everything. And the timing makes it suspect. That's where I get where Ashley is coming from. In terms of Robin, I get where Robin is coming from. That, listen, we all just friends. He DMs us all. And he did not just unprovoked send some message into your inbox and, ooh, girl, come here, I want you. He was responding to your story, saying that you should come to his place of employment where they throw parties. Ashley said, yeah, that's all well and good, but she still thinks it was more than friendly, and she thinks she needs to tell Candiace. When Robin told Gizelle, Gizelle said she agrees and Gizelle won't be left out. Gizelle said he slides into my DMs too. Robin looked like, here we go. Gizelle said it's very innocent, but it's still uncomfortable for me. But I just let it ride. Robin said, why is it uncomfortable for you? When we've been to their house, he cooks for us. He messages all of us. Like, why is it uncomfortable? So Gizelle brings up the reunion and says that at the reunion, she realized there was a moment that Chris was waiting on her and wanted to talk to her. She agreed to talk to him in her dressing room, but that's because she assumed that her glam team was in there. Well, when they got to her room, her glam team was gone. So now she's in this room with Chris. He's talking to her about Candiace, about something about Candiace. She can remember all the detail except what he was talking to her about Candiace. She said she don't remember what he was talking about. She just knows it wasn't good. Nothing happened. He was talking about Candiace and he was drunk, but it just was not good for her. Gizelle says she doesn't want to be enclosed in a room with a married man by herself. She's a woman who's been cheated on and she doesn't want the optics of cheating by any measure. I totally get that, but I think there's a combination of things going on. I think there's a combination of Chris not understanding boundaries to some degree, and they're not maybe accustomed to one of the husbands being as friendly and interactive as he is. I don't know if that's the issue. I don't know if he really is trying to holler at everybody in this group. I don't know. Or if it's also a combination of the fact that, as Gizelle said, she has been cheated on. It might be that part of you is perceiving everything a certain way because you're perceiving everything through this mind of the person who's been cheated on. Robin thinks Gizelle is full of shit. Gizelle said that she told Robin about it after it happened, and Robin kind of dismissed her as, it was nothing. And Robin said, that's because I thought it was nothing. He didn't touch her. He didn't do anything to her. He didn't say anything out of the way to her. And she is suddenly completely uncomfortable. And I don't get it. Gizelle said she's been approached by many married men. She feels like it was one of those situations where he was complaining about Candiace kind of as bait to see if she would bite and say, well, if she's not making you happy, maybe I can make you happy. She said, I know the approach and I think he's a sneaky link. Robin don't think there's nothing to nothing. Robin said, well, the man was talking to you about Candiace. And Gizelle and Candiace have been good friends over the last few seasons. So maybe he was just trying to get advice about his wife. Gizelle said, no, ma'am, he's complaining to another woman about his wife. That's a formula for but one thing. He was trying me to see if I was with it. Candiace, you might have to pull a Ashley, okay? You might have to go ahead and take Chris and tuck him away somewhere. So we move on and we see Karen coming home and talking to Ray. And he's showing her his newest weapon, his tennis racket, that he can't wait to try out with his friends. You better get down, Ray. He's asking Karen how her appointment went with her surgeon. She's saying it went well, that her boobies are coming along just fine. And they talk about Ray's resistance to her getting this procedure done. And she's trying to find out why he's so resistant to it now, especially since he seemed to have loved it when she first did it so many years ago. Ray explains that his issue is that he doesn't want women of the world or women of their family, like their daughter or their nieces, to be influenced or encouraged to do this. Karen says, well, she wouldn't encourage them to do it until they're ready. Ray says he wouldn't encourage them to do it at all. Karen said, well, what about their self-confidence? They should be able to do what makes them happy. Ray said, I think people sometimes come up with justifications for the things that they want to do. And Karen about went off. Don't even start that about the justifications and people just justifying what they want. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Now, my thing is, I totally get Ray's perspective, his line of thinking, because that's my line of thinking. However, are you more concerned about her influencing and encouraging this type of behavior from your daughter and nieces now than you were when she got implants 30 years ago? I mean, because hasn't she raised your daughter with implants all these years? I mean, I know hindsight is 2020. I also kind of wonder if maybe it's that Karen is getting older and it's one thing to maybe have done it back then and think it was a one and done kind of thing, but maybe his concern is that it seems to be repetitive or a pattern. Maybe that's his thing, but I'm just kind of confused by it. I will say that I agree with the base point. Karen talked about the importance of having your confidence and being able to be confident. And I think that getting medically induced confidence has become an epidemic. I think the baseline point that Ray was getting across was to love yourself as you are and to not be willing to risk a life or a limb for the pursuit of perfection. So we move on and we see Mia and Gordon go to lunch and they are met by her childhood best friend and look like her sister wife, her girlfriend Jacqueline. They joke about being a throuple and the producer is asking Mia in the confessional, you and Gordon and Jacqueline, what is y'all? Well, she's like his other wife, but they've never actually done it. Girl, play with somebody else. Now, you know she done told us that they have this open thing in their marriage and part of their agreement is she allows Gordon to have other women and she'll just sometimes, I guess, sit back and child. And so you mean to tell me y'all done come to an agreement to pass your husband down to this woman if something happened to you, but she ain't never tried out for the job? Child, bye. So they talk about what's going on with Mia's health and that all of her diagnostics are still inconclusive. And Jacqueline brings up that she was really pissed off that when they went to the spring party, they were basically met with more side eyes than support. Mia said, well, you know, Gizelle was out of place and rude, but that's Gizelle. And Jacqueline said, well, your girl Karen, I think Karen had a case of CYA. Mia said, well, what is CYA? Well, her husband and her sister wife was in sync. They said it's cover your S. You don't know what that is? Y'all been leaving her out of y'all meetings. Jacqueline said she feels like Karen is playing both sides of the fence. She doesn't want to upset Gizelle, but she's also trying to stay in good graces with Mia. And Mia says, you know what, I think you on to something because the day before that party, Karen sent me this text. Karen has sent her this long text giving her a heads up that the ladies have been discussing her and their concerns about her health announcement. So yeah, Karen might be covering her. So we move on and we see Ashley and Candiace get together. They are trying to progress their little friendship. Ashley asked Candiace about the Grammys that are coming up, and Candiace is really excited to go. She's going to be re-releasing her album. She's excited about all of the networking opportunities that are going to come from this. Ashley said, yeah, that's nice. But hi, Barbara, this is Shirley. Now, whether you be cool or come out of a bag on me, I got something I got to tell you. So we getting to be real good friends. But I thought I should let you know before we go any further that your man was DMing me at 2:40 the other morning. Candiace said, my husband? Ashley said, yeah, girl, he texted me about y'all should have came to the W. Girl, I started sweating. Candiace said, why? Sweating for what? Ashley looked like, hold on, you look a little too cool for me. What you mean for what? It was 2:42 in the morning. And I don't know the context of him texting me about I should come to the W. Candiace said, well, he works there and he was at work. Ashley said, oh, well, I didn't know any of that. How am I supposed to know what a man works? Candiace said, well, what did you think? Ashley said, I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe he thought my homegirl was cute. Candiace said, you know what? I'm trying to become somebody's mama, so I got to grow up. Candiace said, I am choosing to believe that Ashley was not trying to be shady, because Ashley didn't know that Chris works at the W. And he is texting her at 2:40 in the morning saying, you should have came to the W. I can see how that would look strange to her. So I'm choosing to not get upset because I'm choosing to believe that she wasn't being shady. Candiace explains to Ashley that Chris is the manager over there and he is trying to rebrand this place. So he does reach out to all of her friends because he likes to try to get her friends and other cool people to come to the spot. But I do appreciate the effort because, you know, if my husband was out there, I would want you to tell me because I would tell you. Ashley said, I know, because you did. And we saw that flashback of Candiace telling Ashley that her girlfriend who worked at the strip club saw Michael Darby in the strip club soliciting in the strip club. Yeah, Ashley, this ain't a hit like you thought it was going to. Yeah. Now that they've cleared that up, they order their food and Candiace lets them know that the only thing she's allergic to is BS. So please keep that off her plate. It's enough on this damn table. So we move on and we see that Ashley is hosting her dance class. And before anybody gets there, Karen sends her a text that she's not going to be able to make it because she has a fever. Well, running late Robin is the first person there. Everybody's shocked. Robin ain't playing this year. I ain't got time for y'all. Gizelle comes running in behind her. Yeah, your friend done left you in the dust. Ashley lets them know, well, you know, I'm glad y'all are here because Karen done texted and said she got a fever and she ain't coming. Robin said, must be a damn Charisse fever. She got a fever because Charisse is coming. Ashley said, well, why you think that? Robin said, because Gizelle said, Charisse said, Karen is avoiding her. Gizelle said, yeah, after that little hug and, oh, I love you, oh, girl, we should get together. Charisse was texting Karen to actually go to lunch like they had discussed, and Karen been leaving her on red. Gizelle said that's because Karen knows that Charisse has tea on her, and Charisse don't mind spilling her tea all over the table. So Robin says to Gizelle and Ashley, since we talking about beef, don't the two of y'all have some beef y'all need to cook up and clear up? Let's clear the air. Ashley starts explaining to Gizelle that she was really bothered by how accusatory Gizelle was when they were at the party and telling her that you ain't leaving Michael, you ain't getting no divorce, you full of shit. As she's telling her this, Charisse walks in. Perfect timing. So Gizelle defends her position by saying she didn't intend to be accusatory, but divorce is just something that she doesn't play with. She takes it very seriously, and it felt like Ashley was making a mockery of it. She was just kind of saying one day she's getting a divorce, the next day she's buying a house. It was just a game. And Gizelle is saying how she doesn't buy it because you don't buy a house with somebody you're getting a divorce from. And Ashley's response is, well, did you and Jamal not reconcile at some point over the course of time? Gizelle said, yeah, 15 years later. Ashley says, well, I didn't know there was a statute of limitations on someone's affections. Gizelle said, well, are you saying y'all are back together? Because that's what I'm getting. This argument don't make no sense to me. Like, what? How did we get from, are you even getting a divorce, to arguing over reconciliation? The other thing I don't understand is, why does Gizelle demand answers about what's going on in other people's lives? Now, I don't believe Ashley is getting a divorce my damn self. I can tell you no word to lie. I don't think Ashley is getting a divorce. But we don't get any detail about anything going on in Gizelle's life. And she literally demands answers from everybody else. Leave that girl alone and let her sell her lie just like you selling yours. Ashley said, well, no, we're not back together. But we could. Michael's never cheated on me. Girl, what? Gizelle said he never cheated on you. What? Ashley, the next time you're going to have to tell us that the theme of the party is delusion. You can't just expect people to show up in delusion with you. You got to tell people. Ashley said, well, he hasn't cheated on me lately. He doesn't have any children outside of our marriage. So it's possible. It's not as far-fetched as if he had done those kind of things. Girl, Charisse said, hold on, while I'm eating my popcorn and watching the show, let me just make sure I understand. So y'all are getting a divorce, but y'all are buying a house? Ashley said, well, the compromise would be that he would help me buy a house because I can't really afford to buy the kind of house I would want. Charisse said, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead, girl. Gizelle said, well, damn it. If it makes sense to y'all, then it makes sense to me. If that's what you want to do what you want to do. I just want you to be happy. And Ashley said, well, thank you. I just want to be happy, too. In whatever house I get this man to buy me. Just be careful that your castle doesn't become your dungeon, okay? So they get the class started with the ladies that are there, and Candiace arrives late, Mia arrives late, and Wendy arrived late. Mia came because she said she doesn't have a problem with Ashley, but she still ain't talking to Gizelle. And Wendy said, well, she's late because she was busy being super mom and commentating on the changes at the Supreme Court. I don't have time for these games with y'all. So they struggle through the class, and at the end of the class, Robin and Gizelle pull Candiace aside, and they're talking to her about why she's not drinking, and she explains that she's in her IVF journey. And Robin asked her, well, do you have fertility issues? And she said, no. So Robin said, well, why is you doing IVF? Don't you think that's a waste of money? Candiace explains that it's not a waste because what she's doing is freezing younger eggs. So if she decides 5 years down the line that she wants to have a baby, though the eggs that she's freezing now are probably much more viable than the eggs will be in 5 years. So we see Charisse talking aside to Ashley and asking her, what's going on with your divorce? When are you planning on announcing that you're getting a divorce? Ashley said, after I secured a loan for my house. Yeah, because we got to hook up at the bank, and they told us it's probably best that we don't tell nobody we getting a divorce. So I'm going to wait till everything clears, and then we'll tell the public we're getting a divorce so that we don't have any problems getting this money. So Gizelle asked Robin to talk to Candiace alone, and she's explaining to Candiace that in light of the situation with Chris DMing Ashley, she felt inclined to share with Candiace a concern that she had with Chris. That Chris made her very uncomfortable at the reunion because he asked to talk to her privately. She agreed to talk to him in her room because she thought her glam team was there. They get to the room, the glam team is not there. She's immediately uncomfortable. Candiace said, well, did he do or say anything? No, he didn't. She said, yeah, because he wouldn't. To prove to Candiace that this is a problem, she says, you know, the next day I mentioned it to Kyle, who be putting them bad wigs on her, and said Kyle said he don't like it because he knew I was gone, because he said bye to me when I left. What does that have to do with him asking to have a conversation with Gizelle? If he did have a problem with Candiace and he thought that Gizelle and Candiace were friends and he thought that maybe he could get help or guidance from her friend, what does that have to do with her glam team not being there? How does he know that in her head, the only reason she's agreeing to this conversation is because she's assuming there's a team of people in her room waiting on her? How does he know the dynamics? Candiace said, I see what we doing here. All right, I see. Chris is the target this year. Y'all playing them Section 8 games with Michael over there. And now y'all think y'all gonna target my husband. All right. She said, this is the man who treats y'all like sisters, will put his coat over a puddle for y'all, cooks for y'all, like, and y'all want to come for him? Gizelle said 100%. Yeah, I'm absolutely coming for him because he made me very uncomfortable and I didn't like it. And I get that that's your husband, but you can't diminish how I felt. Well, I'm trying to figure out why you didn't feel the urgency to tell her until this thing with Ashley came about. And the episode comes to an end with Candiace getting up and walking out on Gizelle. She's going to look for somebody named Eric, who I believe is a producer. She pulled him to the side, so let me tell you what we're not going to do. My damn husband. She said, if this season, if this storyline, if this agenda is supposed to be about maligning my husband, then you don't want me here. If you want somebody to malign, Michael Darby is available for that. The booty burglar who out here really grabbing people's wives, husbands, and everybody else and making people uncomfortable, he's available for that role and that agenda, but my husband is not. My thing is, you go to all these links about everybody else's marriage, everybody else's man, everybody else's business, but everything about you stays under wraps. We don't even know what the fallout was between Gizelle and Jamal. Now, Gizelle was dating Jamal, and they said Jamal was dating everybody else, and Gizelle had nothing to say. But now here comes Gizelle about your husband had tried to have a conversation with me in a room about you, and he made me very uncomfortable. Girl, I can't with Gizelle. Now, I'm not saying I think Chris is a perfect man. I'm not saying I don't think Chris is cheating or ever would cheat. I don't put nothing past nobody. So it's not that I don't think it's possible for Chris to do it. It's just that based on the details and dynamics that Gizelle is laying out, it literally sounds like this man was just trying to have a conversation with her. But I don't know. What do I know? We'll see how the season unfolds, child. But that's it. That's all. And I ain't got no more. Thank you so much for coming down here, listening to me, and letting me get this off my chest. As always, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, I love you and I mean it. Bye.